Welcome to Paddling Adventures Radio. I'm Sean Rowley, and with me is Derek Special.
Hello.
Derek.
Good day. We're resetting here. We seem
we're having technical issues all over the board today. Not happy. If I lose all my emails again, if our system dumps all my emails again, I'm not going to be a happy camper.
And last time you never got them back?
Never got any. I lost so many emails and email addresses and.
Well, you lost your address book as well?
Yep. It dumped it all. Everything. I guess it tries to sync my computer with online.
Yeah.
And I guess something happened online and it deleted everything. So it synced, I guess, with nothing. And then I ended up with nothing.
If anybody happens to be trying to get to our website as we record right now.
On Tuesday,
you won't have access because even our website's down.
Yeah. Not happy. I am not happy. Things should work.
Are you surfing questionable websites?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Unless I sleep surf. I do all my questionable web surfing at work because I don't want viruses here.
Exactly. Keep it at work.
Do it at work.
Let the work computers take care of that stuff.
So when the cops show up, they're showing up to work.
Yeah.
Okay, it can be any one of you 150 people. Run, Forrest! Yeah, I get so annoyed when things like that don't work.
Yeah.
For no reason. Didn't do anything. Just tried to check my email and, sorry, can't check your emails today.
No luck.
Right? It's just like going out for a nice day of paddling and then you get there and like, all the water's gone. But there's supposed to be water here. Oh, but not today.
I forgot my canoe.
Yeah. Have you ever been going out for a day trip and then you get there and you're all excited and then you realize like you forgot a paddle or your life jacket? Or
I never have. I always do a final check. I've forgotten like snacks, so like that's
not a biggie.
Like there's times where we've gone, well, when we went camping this year, up in Killarney, because it was a long drive to get there. Oh, no,
yeah, maybe on
like
that case
it
would
first
be an
night,
issue.
Because we had pre-cooked the meal for the first night. We just had to heat it up. It was a pasta and like a macaroni type thing. Anyways, we get there and it's like, hey, the pasta's not in the food bag. Oh, no, it's in the freezer.
Right. And see, I always make a list. I have my lists because, I'm known for my lists. Mm-hmm. And I pack everything.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a new list with the last minute things.
That's what I do too.
My cooler bag, make sure you got this, because this stuff's in the freezer. Yeah. This stuff's in the fridge. This stuff is, like your stuff that you're going to use before, you're getting ready to leave. Make sure you bring your extra pair of shoes.
Yes.
Clothes for your car for when you come out.
Rain jacket.
Yeah. So there's that sort of last minute stuff list. So but there have, even with all the lists that I have,
something always gets left behind.
There's always sometimes, why was that not on any of my 72 lists?
Did anybody think to bring flashlights?
Right?
Now, the only thing it's common for us to forget because somebody, we both are putting stuff in the fridge and in the freezer, prepping stuff, and then usually it's me packing because usually my fault. It's me packing because she'll be at work and we're going to leave right after work or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or it'll be me first thing in the morning. I'm up at like 5 a.m. packing, and I didn't have that final list of the meals, and it's like, oh, oops, no pasta for the first night.
Drinking water.
Well, we always have extra meals. It's just it doesn't, that first night, because you don't want to cook.
Yeah,
you can just reheat the pasta.
Yep.
So we usually have, because on the first night, it's like there's not a lot of portages happening the first day. So it's like a nice big heavy meal and all the rest are freeze dried, right?
Yeah.
So, oops.
Way to go. No, I can't say I've ever
forgotten anything critical.
There's been times where I've selectively left things out.
Yes.
To see if I really need it.
Well, there's always something. You get back from the trip and you're unpacking. It's like, this thing comes with me on every trip, and I've never used it.
Well, and that's like the one time, do I really need to bring a chair? Like, I can sit on the ground.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there thinking, you know what? Like, I can't, you're trying to lean against a pack or something, and it keeps sliding.
Yeah.
Or I'll just lean up against a tree, but it's so far away from the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's such a big open spot around the fire that so something like chair, some pieces of the kitchen kit.
Yeah.
I never use a frying pan. Oh, we're going to go fishing. I needed the frying pan for the fish.
Yeah.
Oh,
or tinfoil or something.
Yeah.
When it comes to chairs, like when I first started camping, it's like, I'm just going to sit on the ground. And then, your back gets sore. It's like, well, okay, I'm going to lean against a tree. Okay, I'm going to crouch against the tree to give my back some rest. I'm going to have to go lay in the tent because my back is sore now because I've been standing or crouching and then so I started buying those stupid cheap tripod chairs.
Yep.
The 3-legged things.
Yep.
And after about 20 minutes, they're very uncomfortable.
$10 is what you get.
$10 is $10. But I refuse. I remember early on, I refused to buy those stupid expensive chairs.
Oh, I remember when Helionox came out.
Yep. It's like, I'm not paying that for a chair.
Are you kidding?
That's crazy.
And then the knockoffs came out. Okay, give me one.
Yeah.
Give me 2. Give me 3.
But I remember one trip. It was a buddy of mine. He said, "You bringing a chair?" I said, "No, I don't use chairs." And so he brought a spare chair for me. So I got to sit in his second Helionox. And it was love at first sight.
Right?
It's like, wow, this is comfortable. This is amazing. And it's light.
We have recently, just this year, gone to the high back styles.
Yeah.
Right? They're still as big as the regular Helionox style chairs that we brought. Yeah. But now they got that little bit extra height to them.
Yeah.
And, what a difference.
So,
you're getting old when?
It's a bit of a long story, but not too long. So I went with...
this will be a 2-part episode.
When I went with the boys up north of Sudbury, I had with me my Eureka high-backed chair. So it does a little...
That's what we got.
It does a little recliny thing. So it has the leaning forward position and then the back position. You always get people. It's like, hey, try the chair. And when they lean back, it slides back about 6 inches and makes them think they're falling.
Right.
Anyways, so the mechanism that allows that is just pot metal. It's just white metal. Anyways, on the trip up north of the boys, the one leg broke. And then a day later, the second leg broke. And I say the leg, but it's the rotating part that broke. So the legs were still there, but I had to learn balance because. So for after the second day, we cut a piece of birch branch with a fork in it, and it became my kickstand for the chair. So I had a kickstand to lead against, and so on the first night, the second night after the chair fully broke, I was sitting there, we're cooking up steak, and I was eating steak, and I lost balance, and that steak, I yeeted that steak so far, and it was dark, and there was like 3 of us looking for my steak in the gravel, and I tried to eat it, but it was too much gravel on it, it was too dark, I wasn't going to take down the lake and wash it off, so I'd already eaten half the steak. But yeah, it was like they saw me go over. I landed on my back, and all I had was a fork and a paper plate in my hand. There was no steak.
The cow made her run for it.
So that was it was like 4 or 5 days, right? And it was always I was getting pretty good at balancing by the end of it, right? Anyways. So I learned how to balance. I had my kickstand for some of the times. The kickstand didn't always work. As soon as you shuffled, kickstand would fall over. And then you're balancing again, trying not to fall over. And so it was like having a one-legged chair or a two-legged chair. You had to always balance. And so when we were on the last morning when we're packing up to leave, Doug goes into his truck and he's moving stuff around to pack. And he's like, "Hey, I have a second chair." Oh! Everybody was laughing.
Except Derek. Derek was not laughing.
Yeah, his name was then Two Chairs, No Shares. So yeah, it's like, "Oh, you bugger." That wasn't the word I used. It was a much stronger word.
You guy, you.
But honestly, it was the funniest moment. Like, everybody was howling laughing. And he set the chair up, but I refused to sit in it.
Right? Just out of principle.
No, I'm my chair's good.
You pick it up and throw it in the lake.
Thanks, Doug.
So I broke his chair on purpose. Then I threw it in the lake along with his.
But I struggle with that stupid chair. I threw it out since I got home. But I struggle with that chair the whole time. It was like, I was learning balance. I was getting used to balance and stuff like that. But it was...
I went on a canoe trip years ago. A hiking trip. And totally forgot. I hadn't set up my tent. It's good. I dried it out last year. It's good. Threw it in my pack and off we went. Get up there, set it up. I didn't realize it was sitting next to a motorcycle battery, which leaked.
Oh.
Ate a hole in the tent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just didn't notice it when I threw it in my bag. Huh. Then we set up the tent, there's this massive acid burn hole in the tent. And it was thunder and lightning storm weekend. It was brutal. I think that's why I'm not such a fan of backpacking.
Yeah.
It stems way back to trauma.
That would do it.
Yeah.
So how much water got in? I suppose bugs would get in.
Well, we ended up throwing a blue tarp over the whole thing. So that saved, but
Can't get bugs out.
You get a piece of gear like that and then something like that happens and you're sitting there going like, why don't we just burn this so we don't have to haul it out?
I'll take the tent poles home, but I'm burning this thing.
All I'm doing is carrying this home so I can throw it in the trash, right? But it's like, no, we did bring it home. And I kept the tent poles for ages just in case. Yeah. And then one year I'm like, okay, nobody has tents like these anymore. Whoink, into the trash. But I still have tent pegs.
Yeah.
I got more tent pegs than I know what to do with. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse and I need tent pegs for something, I'm covered.
I've got summer tent pegs, winter tent pegs, aluminum tent pegs. I got so many fancy tent pegs.
We got your tent pegs here. How many pegs do you need? We sell them by the dollar. We sell them by the foot. We buy them by the pound. Get your tent pegs from Derek's Tent Peg Emporium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But no, you know what? Like I say, there's not really pieces of gear. Like I say, is that I've ever really forgotten.
Yeah.
There's choice forgetfulness.
Yeah, you know what? I'm leaving this one behind. I'm sick and tired of carrying it. And then you get out camping. It's like, the one trip I would have used it. I could have used that thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've had gear like that. Like I say, our kitchen kit is the big one.
Yeah.
You carry this kit. It's all put together. And you're like, why am I carrying half this stuff? I'm not going to use it.
So much weight.
Right? Like I got one of those pot holders that I can lift it up and tip.
Okay, yeah.
I got one of these glove things that I can hold onto a burning hot pot and not feel the heat.
Yeah.
Leave one of those at home.
Yeah. I'm not using it.
Why carry that heavy metal thing when you just got a glove that you can put on, right?
Yeah.
And grip the side of the pole, the pot to pour water or whatever. Yeah. And now I've got with the jet boil flash there.
Yeah, it's got a
handle built in, so I can leave the glove at home too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But over the years I have pared down my backcountry gear to stuff that, well, I used to have a pair of heavy leather gloves I'd bring for the fire pit and stuff. I don't bring that anymore.
Well, I will remind you. Now, it only went on about 5 or 6 trips maybe, but I had my favorite flat rock I used to carry.
Oh, geez, yes.
It was great.
It was a giant 50-pound cooking rock.
Do you know how you get the patina or not a patina. It's, what do you call it when your cast iron pan is well oiled and aged?
Oh, aged.
But there's a word for it. Anyways, so this rock, had cooked so many pancakes and so many pieces of bread, and it cooked so many, like, I cooked eggs on it and stuff like that. It's like that rock, it had a nice patina to it. It was what is that word I'm looking for? Anyways,
you'll remember halfway through the show.
Yeah. Anyways, so that rock was nice. I just wrapped it up in a piece of canvas or newspaper, and it was perfect. It wasn't that heavy. It was a couple pounds, but it was a beautiful rock.
But still, it's my lucky rock. It's my lucky cooking rock.
But sometimes, like, it was less than an inch thick, and it was a nice solid piece of rock.
And flat.
And it heated up nicely, and it cooked stuff nicely.
You know what else does the same thing?
A frying pan?
A frying pan. A lightweight frying pan.
I don't get my frying pans blackened from a campfire.
So you'll carry around a dirty rock, but you won't wipe off a frying pan.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
To those listening, do you see what I have to deal with?
You know what? I got to find that rock. I'm sure it's got to be in the basement. It's in one of my boxes for camping.
So we're going on a camping trip in a couple weeks.
I should bring it.
The beginning of November, our potentially last canoe trip of the season.
Yeah.
You should bring the rock.
If I can find it.
Maybe we'll give it a burial at sea or something.
No, I'm not bringing it now. Somebody's going to throw it in the lake.
Well, it's just flat.
It'll skip
phenomenally.
It's too big to skip well.
Well, that sounds like a challenge now. I'm going to be calling your wife and saying, can you dig that up and accidentally slip it into his car somewhere? Yeah.
It's my favorite rock.
It's my favorite cooking rock. I loves me that rock.
There's nothing wrong with having a favorite rock.
But you pared your kitchen gear down to leave that rock at home. Because now we got this high technology called frying pans.
I do have a frying pan that I'm willing to put over fire now. It's a nice jet boil frying pan. Very expensive.
Okay, so answer me this. When you see people and they got like steak or something like that and they throw it right on the coals.
I've done that once. I did little crunchy bits.
Yeah. I can't.
I've
not for me.
I've done it once and I just, I don't like the crunchy bits.
Yeah. And my big thing, just to gross everybody out, is you don't know what people have done around that fire pit.
Yeah. I brushed my teeth in the fire pit.
Right? So I got Derek spit on my steak.
Chances are
toothpaste spit.
It's sanitized with fire.
It's got that minty. Oh, I should have brought lamb.
There you go. This toothpaste would go well with lamb,
right? But no, I've never
cooked on a rock.
Not a flat one that I've hauled around everywhere. I've never been one for throwing food right on. Like if I wrap it, say I catch a fish and I wrap it in foil, I'll throw that right on the coals.
I'll put aluminum covered potatoes in a fire.
Yeah.
On the edge of the fire.
Yeah. But no, I've seen people just throw it right. Oh, that log's burning. Just throw that steak.
Yeah,
right
I wouldn't do that. I don't like that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, better you than me, buddy.
I bring a grill.
Yeah.
And I have the nice one now. I don't know if you've seen it, but we reviewed it once when we reviewed grills.
Yep.
And I went out and bought one. It expands and it's got legs and.
Oh, is that the Grizzly?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, that one. It was too expensive. I just got a $5 grill I've been using for 3 years now.
Well, I used to buy
$5.
I used to buy a brand new $5-7 grill every year, and it would like twist and bend, and you get rusty. And
well, see, and this one's narrow. It's perfect for 2 people.
Yeah.
Yep. It's small enough, fits right in on the inside of the pack there. Like, you wouldn't even know it's there. Put it in a garbage bag to keep it from yuckiness all over everything else.
I put mine in the dishwasher when I get home from camping.
Yeah,
cleans it right up. It's all stainless, nice thick gauge stainless.
Everything just wipes right off.
It's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not heavier than my rock.
Yeah, but would it hold your rock?
It would hold the rock.
So if you put your grill with the rock on top.
On top of the grill.
Perfect.
The rock has a nice had nice heating quality because it would get up to temperature and hold the temperature. And once the fire goes down, you could keep food warm on the rock.
So if you built a little tent out of tinfoil,
okay,
you could probably like bake cookies or something on your rock.
You could. Mm-hmm. Haven't done it.
Why not?
I've cooked bannock. I've cooked a lot of bannock on that rock. It's a good bannock rock.
Derek's bannock baking rock.
I fried an egg once on it once. Never do it again because the egg sticks. A little bit. It's just because
you use enough butter.
It's not a smooth surface, right? So it is.
Throw some oil in there.
I'd have to do something and maybe take a sander to the rock so it's a nice smooth finish.
So why don't you do it? Just smooth the top out.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Then you get rid of the patina or whatever the word is I'm looking for.
Patina. But if you do it now and then you just keep putting oil and stuff in it and heating it and then whatnot over the winter and then next summer. You'll have a perfectly flat cooking rock. Or you can just go to the store and buy one of those cooking rocks.
Yeah. Seasoned.
You
Seasoning
got that
pan.
seasoned patina.
Seasoned patina. Seasoned frying pan. Seasoned rock.
Right?
Yeah.
You lick it, you probably get tastes out of it.
You could. Well, I don't know what now. It might taste like spiders now. It's in the basement. That's why you need to heat it up.
The way you handle your camping gear. You treat it just like a rock.
My spiders are protecting it right now.
Oh, anyway, that's not actually what we had to talk about this week, but I can't remember how we got on that subject.
I don't know. How did we get on that?
I don't know, but all I know was all around you is all my camping gear.
Yes.
Because I just got it all out, and we went on a trip, and then I brought it downstairs, and then I went on another trip, and I brought it back downstairs, so it sits. Ready for another trip?
I've been drying my, since my Sudbury trip, I've been drying my tent and sleep bag and stuff like that in my garage, and I just never put it away. It's still, they're all hanging off of pieces of whatever gym equipment and stuff in the garage.
I usually do that with my tent. I just lay them all out and everything, and then
I still lay it out.
I'll mow the back. I'll scoot the backyard, then mow it, then go lay out my wet tents and let them dry in the sun. It's like perfect.
I got a tent fly on the treadmill. I've got the tent itself on the Bowflex, and
well, they might as well get used for something because
exactly, right?
They're not being used for exercise.
Exactly.
We used to have when we first got before we were married, we were living in. We had this back split downstairs. There was a room. We called it the for now room.
Oh,
you got something? Yeah, I just throw it in there for now, right?
For now.
So we had like a treadmill, one of those ski things, and some weights and stuff. And I'd walk in there, turn the light on. Yep, still there. Turn the light off. Woo! Feel the burn in that finger. Turn that light switch on and off like that.
Light still works.
Yeah, light still works. Yeah,
something still works in that room.
No one stole all my gear, so no, the weights are still there. No one stole them, unfortunately. I think we sold them in a garage sale or gave my nephew or something. Yeah. Anyway, got some messages this week. One of them is from one of our listeners, Andy. He's been listening to us like since day one, sort of thing. Andy sent me this little thing, and we've sort of done this, but not to this extent. He sent a link from the Outdoor News. August 1974, friends Paul Misko and Mike McGraw treated their soon-to-be wives to a week-long canoe and camping trip in the Juniata River. The men were close friends who'd grown up together in Altoona, Pennsylvania, joined the U.S. Marine Corps, and served in Vietnam. Although one sojourn was enough for the women, Misko and McGraw returned the following summer with a few friends for what would evolve into an annual tradition. So we were talking earlier when we were talking about this that, I started out ages ago. I met our buddy Marcus online.
Yeah.
And let's go on a trip, and we canoe tripped, and then Mikey joined, and other people joined, and you joined, and all that sort of stuff. And then as time went on, some of us went one way, some of us went the other, a couple other people joined, and stuff like that. So, like over the course of 20 years, we've all been doing these trips.
Mm-hmm.
This year marked the Eureka Canoe Club's 50th anniversary. Included 26 paddlers from far away as Alaska, New England, and Florida.
That's impressive.
50 years.
Keeping it going for that long.
Right? Hey, guys, where are we going this year? Now, again, I got the article doesn't say, but I got to think some people showed up one year, some people didn't. Mm-hmm. Other people.
Yeah, it's always different people. It's always the Eureka Canoe Club.
Yeah.
We had hoped to kind of create, I had hoped to create the same thing out of the Burt Reynolds Memorial River Run. But there was a COVID year, there was an
accident year.
An accident. Well, no, we did get out that year. But then we all went away and did our own thing, and Mikey sold his water boat. And
we had a conversation about that. I was looking at buying it.
Yeah.
And I was going to call him and say, listen, will you take so much a month for the next year? And then he sold. What? No!
I thought I was buying it.
I was going to send you an offer. I snoozed, I lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had that Esquiff Canyon.
Yes, he had a canyon.
All decked out for whitewater.
It's a nice boat.
Yeah.
There was our rentals that we've had in the past, in previous years before he got the canyon. We kind of learned a bit about how some of the designs go, because some of them just want water in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember there was one year it was...
Well, you had that one rental that was basically submarine.
I think it was the Des Moines. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
So we did the Des Moines, and that thing, like, we didn't. There was one time where we didn't even flip it. It took on more and more water, and until at the bottom of the rapids, we just slowly lowered, and the canoe lowered, and our pack stayed on the surface, and it's like, oh, this is interesting.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody can keep their boat on the water. But can you paddle with your boat under the water?
Exactly.
Right?
But that one was, it seemed to, every time you hit a wave, it broke in through a wave, the water wanted to come into the boat. Mm-hmm. And like it came over the nose, it came over the sides and just flushed in. It's like, what's going on? Like, it's like it needed a cover, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So,
but so unfortunately, you can't keep those going. And I mean, like I say, we've been doing it for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Mostly of the 20 years. But,
mm-hmm.
That wouldn't, I mean, that's like my solo canoe trip. I think out of the last 25 years, I've missed 2 years. Yeah. This being one of them.
I'm thinking of getting back into solo trips.
Yeah. I love my solo trips.
Can't count on people to go with me, so I'm going to have to go by myself.
Right?
Yeah.
But see, that's how mine started, because I'm just going to go for myself. I'm going to do, and then everybody, where are you going? Well, I'm going here. Can I come along? Well, you got to paddle solo.
Yeah, it's a solo trip.
Yeah, everybody, 6 people coming, there's 6 canoes.
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking to Scott Robinson there when we got back from Moosonee, and all the people found out where we went.
Yeah.
I could have had 50 boats going up the Moose River behind me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Armada to the ocean. We're going to Armada to the bay.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, good on the Eureka Canoe Club. Andy, thank you for sending me that. That is pretty cool, I must say. I don't follow a lot about what the celebrities are doing. Like
no.
Hollywood stars.
And I was surprised to see this as a topic.
Yeah, inquiring minds want to know.
Life of the stars.
Zendaya. Yeah, she's Tom Holland's girlfriend, right? In Spider-Man and a bunch of other movies.
Yep.
Recently sat down for an interview with Teen Vogue, and during the interview, the actor opened up about the person with whom she would love to go to a dance class with, on a hike with, and kayaking with. 3 different people.
Mm-hmm.
Each one for different... She chose her boyfriend and Spider-Man star, Tom Holland, for the kayaking experience, believing it would be hilarious. According to her, kayaking requires synchronization with the other person, and they would both try to take charge of the activity as they are very controlling. Thus, the entire situation would turn out to be funny. So she thinks.
Yes.
Sounds good on paper. It was a good idea at the time. Zendaya said, I think it would be hilarious because we are both very controlling and we both want to be in charge. The actor elaborated that it would be amusing to see them playfully arguing over which way they would go while kayaking, which she believes would make for a good story after the incident. As they always say...
And she used the word incident.
Incident. Yeah. before you get married, you should go canoeing or kayaking in a tandem kayak with your soon-to-be. If you can survive that, you can get married.
Not necessarily a tandem kayak, but just any camping trip. If you can spend a week with somebody camping in the woods and it works out.
Yeah, I would definitely throw canoeing or a tandem, not single kayaks, a tandem kayak.
Yeah.
Because if you can get through that and not want to kill the person.
Exactly.
Then you're pretty good for each other. If you are, now you go to the Adirondacks.
I do.
AKA the Dacks.
Well, I did one winter.
Yeah.
The boys still go.
I figured you would have been going again.
It's hard, and I'm old. No, the boys are starting to talk about it again. They were messaging today about going back down the Adirondacks and doing more hiking and whatever.
Didn't Scott and Martin go?
Scott and Martin did. So instead of
was snow or something,
instead of the Burt Reynolds Memorial River Run, they hiked down the Adirondacks.
Yeah. So everything I hear about the Adirondacks, it's all about hiking, mountains, summits, the whole meal deal. But access to one of the top Adirondack wilderness destinations for paddlers is open once again. New York State's Department of Environmental Conservation has announced the maintenance work on Lowe's Lower Dam on the Bog River is complete. The road and parking lot to it were reopened after nearly a 2-year closure. The put-in for Bog River just upstream of the dam is a popular destination in the western Adirondacks for day trippers, campers, and people going on multi-day trips into the Five Ponds Wilderness and adjacent Whitney Wilderness. So I'm Googling this sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of paddling opportunities, more than I thought, down that way. Because it's a big draw for visiting paddlers, outfitters in the northern Adirondacks regularly rent canoes to people going there between May and September. Paddling season is considered over by October due to the cold weather. Ha ha! Yet November, we're going to be going.
Yes.
Right?
Hopefully we're not breaking ice.
I don't think so.
Yeah, 2 weeks away. We have 2 week warm spell coming
I'm
up.
Still on end of November till it starts getting chilly. Biggest impact is just opening Lowe's Lake back up to the people because the last 2 years we've had a lot of customers who've had to divert their plans just due to the closure. Megan Farnham, co-owner of St. Regis Canoe Outfitters in Saranac Lake. They will all be very, very excited to be able to access Lowe's Lake again. Apparently it's very popular. It's about an 11-mile trip from Lowe's Lower Dam. Wilderness Lake is known for being remote and scenic and offers waterfront camping. With the access closed due to the $2.8 million project, Rob Frenette, owner of Racket River Outfitters in Tupper Lake, told Explorer it was a huge deal. His business gets a lot of customers who go there. Yeah, it's just this Lowe's Dam is just outside of Tupper Lake, New York. Parking lot has been continually been the busiest parking lot in the Adirondacks for canoeing. I have trouble with that word some days. Adirondacks for canoeing. They have 40 to 70 cars parked in peak season just about every day. Peak season is July and August. So if you want to go there off peak, you're talking June, September, and October. Parking lot has so many cars there. Visitors to the Lowe's Lower Dam and Bog River will also notice some improvements. A new parking lot has been added. Plus, Student Conservation Association and DEC operations staff have made improvements to 43 primitive campsites on Hitchens Pond and Lowe's Lake. So they took the opportunity to do some upkeep on these campsites, which is cool. Dam had been overdue for maintenance. When the structure was inspected in 2014, state dam experts noted concrete deterioration throughout the structure, including on spillway piers. They also observed water seepage from the dam's downstream toe. Structure was previously considered an intermediate hazard, but has now been classified as a low hazard, according to the state dam inventory. 239-foot-long dam owned by DEC was originally built in the early 1900s by Abbot Augustus Lowe. Hence the name.
Lowe's Lake.
To generate power, it now helps maintain one of the region's most popular paddling routes. State officials have sought to bolster funding to repair and remove aging dam infrastructures across the park, including those owned by the states. Yeah, and when I was looking at this, we came across this, and I'm looking, well, what's all there? There's a lot of paddling. There's there's lakes with big rivers joining them all.
I'm looking at it now. It's west of Lake Placid, west of Tupper Lake, and it's a nice area. It's a long and narrow lake. Lowe's Lake itself, and it's got what is it?
So you can just launch in there and then just paddle, pick a site, and just boogie around for
it's a nice
for
area.
A few days. It really is. So I'm thinking maybe next year, we should see if there's anybody down there and we can meet up. And
it's in a mountainous area too,
right? Yeah, if you actually look at pictures of Lowe's Lake, and Lowe's Dam and stuff like that,
there's the topo.
Yeah, but if you actually look at like real pictures of it, there's some pretty cool looking geology and geography.
Yeah, you can see there's those mountains behind it are high,
right? Get yourself a nice campsite, and that's what you're waking up to. A nice sunrise over the mountains.
What a nice area.
Up the lake. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, they're saying it was very popular at the time before they closed it. But, if
it'll build up again.
Upkeep. Yeah, the people will be back.
Let's go to the other side of North America. You used to live up in Vancouver, right?
I did.
Yeah, well, this explains
Vancouver
a few
Island.
things then.
Hey, I grew up in the east.
And then you ended up out in the west.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck right in the middle.
Central.
Stuck in the middle with you. As the wettest storm in recent memory wreaked havoc on the north shore of Vancouver, a group of kayakers decided it was high time for a paddle.
Yes.
But
hey, we have a big storm. Let's go paddling.
Quickly landed them in deep water. Last Sunday there, North Vancouver RCMP got a report of someone floating in the Seymour River. RCMP responded on land and by sea on the detachment's police boat, along with Royal Canadian Marine Search and Rescue and DNV Fire and Rescue Services. Oops. There was a total of 6 kayakers in distress. Some of them made it out of the water near Dollarton Highway and Riverside Drive, but some fell into the water or their boats capsized. Police deployed a drone, and this is one of the things they were talking about was it's cool to have this technology now.
Yeah.
Because you can actually use drones to zip around and find the kayakers, right?
Yes.
So they deployed a drone to locate the floating kayakers, and rescuers are able to recover them all from the water. All 6 found and brought in without injury. RCMP say they are not sure why the kayakers went out during the atmospheric river storm, which caused widespread flooding across the region. Okay, so ask the people in Florida when the hurricanes were hitting, why were you paddling down the main street of your towns? See, we're not so different.
No, we're all the same.
Yeah. Anybody that lives near an ocean apparently just got something wrong with them.
Here, hold my beer. I'm going to go check this out.
We don't know what was going through their heads, but it was extremely dangerous. The water was so high and so aggressive, this well could have been a fatal incident. With the extreme weather, it could have been difficult to get out the police helicopter and spot the floating kayakers, which is why they say it's great to have those drones. Nobody was injured, and that's the most important thing. So this atmospheric river, narrow corridor or filament of concentrated moisture in the atmosphere. Other names for this phenomenon are tropical plume, tropical connection, moisture plume, water vapor surge, and cloud band.
I like atmospheric river. Sounds better than all of those other stupid things.
Oh, it looks like a tropical plume. Yeah. Atmospheric rivers consist of narrow bands of enhanced water vapor transport, typically along the boundaries between large areas of divergent surface airflow, including some frontal zones in association with extratropical cyclones that form over the oceans. Can you tell I didn't write this? Pineapple Express storms are the most common represented and recognized type of atmospheric rivers. The name is due to the warm water vapor plumes originating over the Hawaiian tropics that follow various paths towards western North America, arriving at latitudes from California and the Pacific Northwest to British Columbia and even southeast Alaska. Some parts of the world, changes in atmospheric humidity and heat caused by climate change are expected to increase and intensify, and frequency of extreme weather and flood events caused by atmospheric rivers. This is expected to be especially prominent in the western United States and Canada.
They always get hit by these. It's like one of those things. It's with the weather changes, I'm starting to learn a lot more new terms. Mm-hmm. It was just a couple years ago I heard atmospheric river for the first time. And 4 years ago, I heard the term Derico the first time.
Yeah.
And so, storms
It's not named after you.
No, it's not named after me. I was hoping.
Yeah, atmospheric rivers, the new thing, newish.
Yeah, and it's was it 2 years ago? Abbotsford, BC was hit by an atmospheric river, and they had massive flooding in that area.
Yep. Now Vancouver.
Now it's North Vancouver.
Yep.
And so these weather processes come through that area just because of the dynamics with the mountain ranges and the ocean water, and so it's dumps a lot of rain.
It's either going to dump a ton of rain or go up higher and dump a ton of snow.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
So do you want the rain or the snow?
Mm-hmm.
At least the snow doesn't flood.
Well, Whistler Blackcomb would be happy with all that snow.
Right? Start their season early.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with stuff like this, you get a lot of flooding, property damage, and some people unfortunately get caught in it and die, right? So,
well, there have been some deaths and stuff like that in it, and but you get people going out thinking, hey, this will be cool.
Hey, this will be fun
to do. But I mean, when we had those floods in Toronto a couple of years back, I remember people were having to abandon their cars under
the DVP
and stuff like that because they were underwater and stuff. And people are just paddling on by.
Yeah.
I got to admit, if I lived downtown, that would have been me. Paddling down Yonge Street or something like that. Yeah, that would have been me.
I find it interesting with the current weather patterns, and the Don Valley Parkway consistently floods a couple times a year now. And apparently the province wants to build an underground 401 tunnel.
Don't even get me started on that. Don't even.
What kind of pumps are you going to have in there to guarantee that?
If you want to get me started on this is going to be an 8-hour episode. I'm telling you right now.
I just don't think it'll work.
So, should we talk about selling beer in the corner stores?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's not going to help. That's buying votes.
A buck of beer, that worked.
Yeah, and we never did get the buck of beer.
Right? Because none of these places can afford to sell their beer at a buck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dime for a dime bag. 5 cents a dime bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was reading, because out of the two of us, I do more of it.
Hey, I do a lot of reading at work, but it's usually manuals.
It's usually comic books while they're in the bathroom. What you're talking about. I was going just back through some old articles and stuff to see, hey, is there anything we've ever missed or whatnot? And I came across an article. And I gotta say, I have been in the backcountry on canoe trips, sitting around the fire, had a couple of beverages, and these discussions have come up.
Oh, yeah.
As a culture, we are fairly obsessed with disasters, plagues, apocalypse. I don't think I've ever heard apocalypse.
When I saw this written down, I'm thinking, did he misspell that?
Apocalypses.
I
apocalypse.
Guess. So multiple apocalypse and apocalypse.
Right?
It works.
Octopus, octopi.
Learned a new word this week.
Yeah. And our response to them. There's the whole zombie thing, of course, but despite its vast cultural reach, it's only one flavor of post-devastation worldview. Disease, vampires, and climate change all come into play. There's books, John Cronin's The Passage and Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Peter Heller's The Dog Stars. Heller's protagonist, a man called Hig, has survived a pandemic and now lives at the base of Colorado's Front Range in a fortified, abandoned airport with weapons enthusiast named Bangley. Despite mortal danger from roving, desperate survivors, he and his dog venture high into the mountains, fly fishing, hunting, and taking in the solitude. It is a striking book, at once thoughtful and hopeful, and it also prompted me to do something I haven't done since I was a kid, to imagine when I was out hiking or camping that I was the only person left on Earth. What would it be like? How would I cope? Could I do it? You're going to looking online for that book now, aren't you?
I'm just about to buy it on Amazon.
You're going to buy it and not read it, aren't you? Don't buy it. It's a rotten book. Yeah, most actually being out in the woods, imagining yourself 100% alone gives a crisp frisson of excitement to your surroundings. Trees, mountains, they feel different, even if it's only pretend.
Order placed.
Oh, he just bought the book. Do you want the names of the other two books? Such thought experiments are apparently universal, or are they? Am I the only one who thinks such things out in the backcountry, or do you too? So this is a poll they did back in 2015.
Yeah.
We've actually had these conversations around the campfire, basically saying, so, if like the apocalypse, one of the apocalypses breaks out, and we need such and such lake is the first lake I would go to, and I would take all my gear and head there.
Was Mark Rubino in this conversation?
Mark was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We go to this lake because it's just absolutely filled with massive fish. And it's hard to get to.
You got some isolation. It's off the beaten path. Fresh cold water on a higher elevation. So it's like, it's like a good place to get away to,
right?
Yeah.
So there's that sort of thing. We've also had the conversation about imagine coming out from a multi-day trip and find out an apocalypse has happened.
And you've done that. Well, not an apocalypse, but the blackout of 2004.
I was out fishing, and then I came out for that. Is that 2004?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I think it was 2004. It
was a long time ago anyway.
The big blackout.
Yeah. So the apparently from what I heard, terrorists knocked out some power plant down the States and killed all the power to all of North America. Turns out that was a lie.
But it was a big chunk of people.
Derek hit a wrong button.
Yeah. It was a tree that grew into a power line. It shorted out. It sagged, overheated. Boom, cascading blackout, and it hit most of Ontario, New York, and
I was up in backcountry fishing and came out and
hey,
what's
this is curious.
What's going on? No clue till I got home and because cell service was out, everything. I got home and my wife's in the back with our camping gear, cooking, and so apparently one of us is going to survive while the other's totally clueless on what happened. Listen, when the zombie apocalypse happens, I expect dinner to be on the table when I get home from wandering aimlessly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank goodness for barbecues and Coleman stoves and lanterns, right? But even when, because like I say, this book, The Dog Stars, happened after a pandemic, and there were a couple stories we covered a few years back. People that were in the backcountry on multi-day trips, like couple-week trips.
Yeah.
And basically they were in for a few days, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Everything got shut down, and then they come out 2-3 weeks later, and they're like,
"What's with all these weird? What's going on?
What's going on? Everybody's in masks, and we're being scrutinized and told you can't come in here."
Somebody just yelled at me because I wasn't wearing a mask at the 7-Eleven, and
talk about like I can't even begin to think how they would
surreal,
feel
so
that.
strange.
Yeah.
It's like your out of body experience is like, what is going on?
Yeah. So and going through this old article, and they're saying, like you're in the backcountry and all this happens, or if it happens, where are you going to go? I just know that in Toronto, if you think you're jumping in your car and you're beating it out of town super fast,
yeah,
ain't happening.
No.
I'm going to hook up my canoe to a bicycle and ride the curb.
Exactly.
And I'm going to pass everybody. Yeah. Because no cars are going anywhere.
No, there's always some stupid person and doing some stupid thing, and next thing you know, you got a transport truck jackknifed on the highway, and
Godzilla.
Nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah. So something definitely to think about. Mm-hmm. See, this article is 10 years ago.
I bought that book. I bought that book now because I know that there's going to be a run on the book after everybody listens to the
Everybody's going to listen to it. Everybody's now going to go out and buy that book. Derek's got his copy that he's not going to read. But when everybody's clamoring for it, he's going to sell it for 3 times the price.
That's why I bought 10 of them.
Why don't we give one out as a prize?
There you go.
Oh, man, that'd be awesome. Sorry, buddy. You're not the only one that has these thoughts. Apparently.
I think a lot of people, it goes through a lot of people's heads.
Right?
You get out there camping and think, I could do this. I could survive out here. Well, not for very long.
But how many times are you at work and people know where I go and what I do, and I show them the pictures, and here's, I'm starting a fire with flint and steel, and they're like, you should do one of those like Survivor or the TV shows where you got to go on the island. It's because I would build a shelter the first day. I would make fire the first day. I'd have some sort of water filtration the first day, and everybody go, well, he's done what we need. He's out. Yeah. He's the best guy
we can't compete against him.
He's gone.
He's voted off the island.
Yeah. When it comes down to pure survival, out the door he went. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my nieces, she's always said this, like, if anything bad happens, we know where we're going to go for help.
Right?
It's like, I'll already be gone. Good luck.
Long ago, yeah. So why are you on the TV show Survivor? I needed a break from work. I ran out of holidays. I needed a couple extra camping trips. I said, hey!
There we go.
I go on that vacation. Here I am.
This is a vacation.
Now, excuse me, I got my portable still over there. Could you imagine that? I wonder if they'd let you do that. I bet you they'd shut that down so fast.
Portable still?
So here's this tribe over here, and they've built themselves a log canoe. They've got a hut. They've got a fire. They've got a filtration. They got a still.
They made a sauna.
So what's so hard about this game anyway? Not only that, but they've taken over the other tribe. They're in the middle of digging a pool.
Yeah.
This is an awesome TV show. This is not what we signed up for.
There's a guy who does these things out in the backwoods of Russia, and I learned from him how to make a backwoods sauna. So and Mike keeps making fun of me. It's like, well, then I'll just use it alone.
Right?
All you need is a couple rolls of saran wrap.
Could you imagine being that good at survival that when they finally find you after 3 years, no, go away! Forget you saw me!
Leave me alone.
Don't tell my wife I'm here!
Yeah.
Here, I got $50. Go away!
Pretend you did not see me.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We talked about that PlayStation VR game. They got an upgrade.
How long ago was that? Wait, so this has been out.
This has been
videos.
So let's not jump too far ahead here.
Yeah.
We talked about the new VR for PlayStation like last year.
Yes.
Because it was just the paddling one.
And we talked about it in advance because it was going to be released eventually.
Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show, they had... I don't think they had this one, but they had one similar.
Yeah.
But then a couple weeks ago, wasn't last week, a couple weeks ago.
It was.
We talked about they had a new upgrade so you could paddle with a friend because we did the tangent about let's mount guns and stuff to this. Just like Call of Duty, you could accidentally shoot your buddy.
50 caliber on the deck of your kayak.
And you're blowing a helicopter out of the sky in Colombia. Running drugs down the river. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this game. Well, now this one here has been out for there's an online PC based system called Steam.
Yes,
and this has been out.
Some of the original videos are over a year old.
Yeah. But the PlayStation VR now has kayak simulation. Kayak VR Mirage is facing competition as Whitewater VR Extreme Kayaking Adventure is being released to PlayStation on October 24th, being the day this podcast is released.
Yes.
Thursday, October 24th, 2024. Unlike Kayak VR Mirage, Whitewater VR focuses primarily on whitewater routes and is therefore more action-oriented. Whitewater VR Extreme Kayaking Adventure is an immersive kayaking simulation game that places players in the heart of exciting and challenging river courses. You will learn the basics of extreme kayaking, navigating through different river environments, and experience the thrill of whitewater rapids from the comfort of your home.
And this is not Duck Hunt on Nintendo.
No,
the
we actually watched.
Graphics are amazing. Yeah. And so obviously you can tell it's not real, but the graphics are so good that it's like, unfortunately I don't have a VR headset. I'd like to see it in VR.
Yeah, we saw full screen on the computer.
Full screen on the computer, and it's impressive.
Yeah. 5 different, you have a simulation. There's 5 different environments that you can go paddling in. Tropical jungle, Alpine Valley, Spring Mountain, Eastern Iceland, and in the Eastern Iceland one, you're paddling along the river, and there's the basalt columns.
Yes,
and then you see this lava flow starting to the side of you. And
I was wondering what that fire was.
Yeah, and Desert Canyon. In addition to the tutorial, there's 2 modes: time attack. So race against the clock and reach the next checkpoint before time runs out. Collect floating crates to gain extra time, but watch out for bombs. Ooh. Because we watched these simulations.
Didn't see any bombs.
There was everything was 5 extra seconds on your clock. Yeah. There was no bombs. Well, now I got to go back and watch.
Now I got to watch more.
And then there's the free ride mode. Explore river environments at your own pace without the pressure of objectives or time limits. Online leaderboards will be available for competitive players. Ooh. PSVR 2 version is almost identical to the PC VR version. The only difference being is the refined canyon environment. The PSVR 2 version also supports foveated rendering and runs at a native 90 frames per second. The haptics of the Sense controllers are designed to simulate the feel of paddling and water resistance. Trophy collectors can get their hands on 26 trophies, including a platinum trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Woot woot! And it is it's been available on Steam for the last year
for a while, but now it's going to be on PlayStation
on October 24th in the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
So you can actually go to the PlayStation Store right now and put it on your wish list.
Yes.
Now,
so we did price it out.
The first drawback is the price for a PS5, the whole VR system, plus game, the charger, plus the game. Yeah. After taxes, you're looking $1,600-$1,700 Canadian.
Yeah.
That's $1,700 kayak.
But if you already have the PlayStation, if you already have the
PlayStation,
unit, then you're just buying the 3D unit, charging unit in the game.
So knock $700 off that.
There's like a dozen or so games that already work with the VR headset.
Yep.
And it's a nice looking, it's comfortable looking headset. I've played around with some of the VR headsets. I've got a Samsung one at home.
Even the hand controllers, those are pretty cool.
Yeah. So it looks like if you already have PlayStation, then the game itself, which is, I don't know, $70 or something, and
$70 for the game.
That's what they typically are. And then the $500-$600 for the VR headset and hand controllers. So it really depends. But it's we were joking. It's like, well, if I'm going to spend that, I'm going to actually buy a kayak
and go.
But you know what? This you can kayak in the winter. You can kayak whenever, and it is interesting.
And go to different places. Yeah. And you got to think as it goes, they will add more rivers and stuff like that. So if I already owned a PS5 and there was just more than just me and Tracy in the house, then maybe I would look into getting one just because, it'd be kind of cool. Because there's also the Call of Duty style games. They got one of those as well and whatnot that you can play as well. But to go lay $1,600 out, that's
a hard push.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Now, as for what we saw on the actual game,
it was good.
It was pretty cool graphics and stuff like that, and you're seeing, you're going down the rivers, and there's some of them you're at kayak height.
Yes,
it's not like you're seeing it from above and driving your kayak. No, it's like you're actually in the seat paddling.
Yeah.
So if there's all of a sudden there's a rock, you got to get around that rock or you're hitting it, sort of thing.
And what was interesting too is, so you are in virtual reality, so you got the headset on, so it's an immersive environment. So the weird looking spaceship type hand controllers they have haptic feedback, so they fake the sense of water resistance. They fake the sense of waves hitting you. So it has that haptic feedback to give you the feeling that you're fighting water, fighting white water, and so on. So
I wonder if you hit a rock with it.
Well, all you're going to get is there will be a directional vibration, and I've felt some of these haptic feedback systems before, and so it does give you a directional feedback. It's not going to be extensive. It's not,
but it'll give you the feeling. Oh, I've hit a rock.
Yeah, you're going to feel the vibration in the hand controller and so on, right? And what's a weird joke, and it's like when you get a buddy there with the spray that you squirt on your cats when they do something bad. It's like, I'm hitting the wave, and somebody sprays you in the face.
Because you got to think I wonder if you hook it up, do you see it on the TV screen as well?
Yeah.
So they're watching you hit this big wave, and they're standing in front of you, and they just spray you. Give it that extra little dimension of.
There's a 4-dimensional gaming.
But the only from the 5 different videos we watched, the only thing that I didn't like about it, was the paddle. There's this paddle floating in front of you doing the paddling with no hands. Like you figured they would have somehow attached hands and arms to it.
I can imagine they had this discussion. I imagine if we're thinking about...
No, they're listening to this right now going, damn, how did we miss that?
So, no, I was thinking about it, and for the immersive environment, yes, when you are paddling down the river, you're going to see your hands and your forearms in front of you. It's going to block your view. But I think in the gaming environment, they didn't want your hands and forearms blocking your view. They want you to see as much as possible. Sure, if they wanted to be totally realistic, but in this environment, I think they wanted you to have more of a view of the river without your arms and hands getting in the way. Like you still.
If I'm paying $1,700 for this, I'm sitting in a tub of water to give me view realistic.
I want a wave to splash me in the face, and I get 5 seconds of blackout on the screen.
I'm sitting in my kayak in my living room with somebody squirting water at me. I want to see my arms and my hands. Yeah, no, that's the only thing, because all of a sudden you see this kayak paddle out in front of you, and it's moving, but there's no hands.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's a magical, it's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The Force, Luke, use the Force. PlayStation Kayak Simulation Whitewater VR Extreme Kayaking Adventure. Like I say, October 24th, it's out there. If you got a PlayStation and the VR2 system, give it a whirl. If anybody's played this,
I'd like to hear
if anybody
some
has
feedback.
This, and give us some feedback.
Yeah, who's got a PlayStation out there? Who's going to buy this?
Yeah, who's going to buy this and invite Derek
in
over
a week's
to play
time?
Yeah. Derek, come on over and play. That's all I've got. We're going on a trip next week, hopefully.
Yes.
Well, I guess there's a week away.
Week and a half.
Week and a half.
Yeah.
For 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go for the full 4, or are you going for 3?
I haven't decided yet. I'm going to have to see if I can get time off work.
I'm going to see. Mike's bringing Willow. Willow's a bit shy with other dogs. I was contemplating bringing Athena.
Yeah, I think they'll get along pretty good. They're both calm dogs. And after a day or two...
Have you not met my dog?
Well, I haven't
when
seen
she gets out in the backcountry and she gets with other dogs, is nonstop play.
It's wired. Yeah.
Oh, she just goes nuts. She's in another lake, and yeah. And then she gets into the tent and zonk.
Yeah, we'll see what the weather's like.
That's what I said. If it's nice weather or snowstorm, I'm bringing the dog.
Yeah.
If it's raining, Athena's staying home.
Yeah, she won't like it.
Number one, she's not a big rain. Number two, a soaked dog in November.
Wet dog in the tent.
Yeah. Smells like heaven. Yeah. Not happening. I'm going to be trying to keep myself dry, much less trying to keep a dog under a tarp for 4 days. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Where's the dog? I left her in the truck for 4 days. I just paddle all the way back.
I paddle back 3 times a day.
Yeah, let her out and feed her. That's going to be good. It's going to be fun. We are not, I don't think, doing any portage to the camp. No. We're going to paddle up the lake, and we're going to base camp and do day trips.
And day trips.
Which is awesome this time of year because we can bring the extra clothes, an extra wool blanket, and you're not having a portage all that
Exactly. So I'm going to bring some warm clothes. I'm going to bring some rubber boots and stuff like that. Well, it depends on the weather. Weather forecast is everything's dependent on weather forecast.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Rain gear or snow gear.
Yeah.
Or sun gear. T-shirt weather. I'm telling you, T-shirt weather.
Well, the current trend, it's kind of hard to see too far in the future because, beyond a couple of days, you can't trust the weatherman, right?
But I'm not a weatherman, so you can trust me.
You can trust everybody but the weatherman.
Trust everybody but the weatherman. No, I've been looking at beehives and woolly caterpillars and all that other sort of stuff, and it's supposed to be mild.
Supposed to be mild.
It's supposed to be mild.
You've been talking to the caterpillars?
Jim.
They've been telling you stories?
Yep. Jim the woolly caterpillar. Kevin Callan and I saw. Oh, Kevin Callan finished his challenge.
Frontenac challenge.
Frontenac challenge. Yep, he did the last one. If you go to the Happy Camper, Kevin Callan, the Happy Camper YouTube page, you can watch all the videos from his Frontenac challenge, including the one where I joined him for a couple of days and a couple of the trails, and we had a good trip. And that's where we found Jim the woolly caterpillar. Yeah.
Oh, and there's Jim Barrett. He just posted his Yukon trip with his family.
Oh yeah, yep. He's been doing stuff up there as well. So no, it's supposed to be a nice. According to, if you follow the weather, if you follow the nature, it's going to be nice.
In theory.
Now watch tomorrow we get hammered. Hey, 15 feet of snow.
The atmospheric river came across Canada.
Yeah, right to my house.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, if you want to find out more about us, you can find us at paddlingadventuresradio.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can download or stream all our episodes on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and all your favorite podcast downloading sites. Or you can go to the episode page at paddlingadventuresradio.com and you can stream or download all our episodes there. If you enjoy the podcast, please share it with your friends, family, and fellow paddlers. I want to thank everybody for listening this week. I'm Sean Rowley.
And I'm Derek Specht. We'll see you next time.